Hello crafty friends, I'm Lin from Studio Kato and I'm so glad you're joining me again today. Today's another casual Friday here on my YouTube channel, so I made a clean and simple Christmas card today. Earlier this week I made a splatter background with some liquid watercolors, and it's fair to say I think that I'm slightly addicted to them now, so I made another one. But first off, let's start with the focal image for this card. And it's one of the cute little stamps from Mama Elephant. This is from the Reindeer Games stamp set. And I stamped that on some watercolor cardstock. This is the Canson Montval 200 GSM cardstock. And I stamped that with Versafine Onyx Black and embossed it with Wow Clear Gloss Superfine Embossing Powder. I like the glossy finish that gives your line art, but I also really like it for watercolor because it makes it a little harder to color outside the lines. I'm keeping my watercoloring fairly simple, but I'm still working in layers because you know me, I like to color in layers. I think it adds a lot of depth to your coloring, so that's what I do. I just apply a base layer first, let that dry completely, and then go in with some more shading. I chose a really warm brown for this reindeer because I wanted it to contrast a little bit with the blue, colder background. Once that's done, I'll fussy cut that out, and let's see my liquid watercolors for today. And they aren't actually liquid watercolors. These are fountain pen inks. I collect these. I love them. I also love fountain pens. And these are wonderful. Some of them have sparkle in them, so that's why I was shaking some of the bottles to get that sparkle sediment from the bottom of the bottle into the ink. And I am now applying some water, just some clear water, onto my panel. This is again Canson Montval 200 GSM watercolor cardstock, and then I can just drop in some ink. Now, I'm telling you guys, this is so fun to do. It's so satisfying to watch the ink move and the water move and create these fun backgrounds on your paper. It's really, really fun to do. And I'm just applying those with a pipette, and I am just splattering them on, going wild, trying to stay somewhat at the top of the panel, but I'm not being too bothered with it. I do heat set this in between layers so I can build up the color, but these fountain pen inks do reactivate with water. So anytime I put another color on top of it, it's reactivating that first layer. So you can't build up the color too much. That's why I'm using 3 different shades of ink. Now, I was working on my regular work surface for this and heat setting it in between, and I saw that my mat was warping a little bit, so I taped it down onto a wooden panel that I use for watercoloring because it can stand the heat. Now you can already see some of that sparkle from some of the inks, and I just cut that reindeer out and put it on top of the background for a second to see if I liked it, and I decided to add just a little bit more in the bottom right corner of that backdrop, and that would make it a little bit more even. Now I'm stamping on a sentiment, just checking to see if that's straight. I use my grid on the Misty to check that, and that's really helpful. I want to emboss this with Wow Platinum embossing powder. Yeah, it's metallic platinum. It's not silver. It looks silver, but it's slightly warmer. So I'm just stamping that in Versamark ink and embossing that with that Wow embossing powder. And then I can heat set that off screen, and that's pretty much my card done, just assembling. I covered my white card base with a craft colored panel, and then behind my watercolor panel I am putting a piece of cardboard. I like to use this for added dimension, and I'm just gluing all of that together with Barely Art Precision Craft glue. Then I can just center that panel onto my card base, and that's it. Just press that down, make sure it's nice and secure, and then I can put that reindeer on top. I adhered that with some foam tape to give it a little bit more dimension. For embellishments, I'm using these Snowflakes Meraki Sparkle gems and some holographic gems as well. These tiny gems are things I got from Amazon. They're for nail art, but I love them because they are so tiny. And I'm just gluing those on with the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. This is way better for embellishments than the Barely Art Precision Craft glue. It's a lot stronger and your embellishments immediately stick to it, whereas the liquid, the Barely Art Precision Craft glue is a little bit too liquid. So embellishments just slide around on top of it a little bit while you're waiting for them to dry, and I don't like that. So that's why I switched the glue around just for the embellishments. Onto a craft envelope that I folded with the We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board. I am stamping another of the reindeer from that stamp set in Versamark ink, and then I embossed that with Wow Bright White Superfine embossing powder. And that's it. Card done, envelope done. And I really like all the sparkle and shimmer and shine in that background. I really love these fountain pen inks. I am quite a collector when it comes to these inks. I have a ton of them lying around, way more than I could ever use in my life. So I'm glad I can also use them on cards. But again, if you don't have these, you can just use liquid watercolors or reinkers and add a little bit of water to them. That would work fine. You can use whatever you have in your stash. I hope you liked this card and I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them. Of course, you can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.